Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to make our first glam look after quarantine. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. So I get talking. Back it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by prepping my skin. I usually start with a serum. And I'm gonna use the Ole Henriksen, the Banana Bright Vitamin C serum. Next, I'm just gonna use a moisturizer. I'm gonna use the Tatcha water cream. I actually really love this. I know like Tatcha is really expensive, but if you buy it like I do during the Sephora sale, at least you get a little discount. And I'm sure Tatcha, you know, does their own discounts every once in a while. I've also been moving, so like my under eye circles are fucking huge. Now my skin feels so hydrated, so smooth. So I'm not bougie and have one of those little fans, so I'm just gonna let it dry on its own. It's crazy how much this lighting just like really brings out all the things that are wrong with your face. So I think my face is dry now, and I'm going to prep my skin. I love the Tatcha Silk Canvas, but literally look at how much I have of this left. Oh, the light. There's like none in there if you couldn't see. So it just feels so good. Like after you put on your moisturizer and stuff, it just goes on so smooth. And since, you know, we're doing our first glam look after quarantine, you want to make sure everything's prepped so we can do a full coverage look. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, just mainly to grab the food. Just cause.
Okay, so anyway, I have a bunch of full coverage foundations that I love, but actually my favorite is the 24-Hour Wear by Maybelline. I'm in the color 120 when I don't have any self-tanner on. And I feel like this lasts forever, and it just looks like really good. I would compare it to the Huda Beauty foundation, except it's almost better because it doesn't have fragrance. So it's not going to break you out. I used the Huda Beauty foundation for like maybe 6 months, and my skin was breaking out so bad, like all the time. And it took me forever to realize, like I literally kept working like on my skincare, kept buying all new skincare, trying different things, and I could not figure out what it was. Like my breakouts were so bad. And then one day it just dawned on me because I was like, it has fucking fragrance in it. And then ever since I stopped using that, my skin has been so much better. Like I get a breakout here and there, like everybody does, but nothing like how it was. It was so bad. It was covering like my entire face. So just making sure you smooth everything out because like I said, we're gonna be glam. And just making sure you get your ears, because like if you're gonna wear your hair up or something, you don't want to have white ass ears. Maybe I shouldn't swear so much. I think I used this in my last video too. This is one of my favorite concealers. It's like almost gone. The Born This Way concealer. That comes in like this. Oh! But it comes in like a huge size. So usually, like, I apply a lot of concealer, but I'm just going to apply a little bit more than usual because we really want full coverage. And then wipe the shit off. I'm going to use a lighter concealer. I'm just going to use the Kylie Concealer, and this is in the shade Bone. And I'm just going to use this in the very inner corners. It's like almost the same shade, just a tad lighter. And we're going to put this down our nose, on our chin, just a little on my forehead. Honestly, I'm not crazy about the forehead highlighting. I feel like you can highlight there later with actual highlighter, but for the sake of the video, we will do it. And again, just making sure you really blend everything out. It's gonna make a huge difference. Like, when you try to just do your makeup really quick, you're not gonna get that seamless blend, and it's gonna be very obvious that you have makeup on. I'm also using the concealer to hide this pimple a little bit. And I always put concealer over my eyelids to act, obviously, to cover like my veins, but to act as a primer as well. I have very purple eyelids, so I need a primer that's going to fully cover that. This is so weird. I have not worn makeup like the entire fucking... I need to stop swearing so much. I have not worn makeup pretty much the entire quarantine, so I always cream contour, and then depending on how glam I'm going, I'll powder contour. So I'm just going to use this NYX foundation, and it's in the color Caramel. And I like to use a foundation that's like a little bit darker as opposed to an actual contour stick, just because I feel like it looks a little more natural. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty double-ended brush and just blend this out. I'm like getting so excited. I have not put on a full face of makeup in so long. And I always just like take whatever's right here and blend it down in here. It's also crazy that the color looks way more orange in the camera. And if you feel like it's not blended enough, just use your beauty blender, which also has foundation on it, so it's kind of just gonna blend that color in for you. I feel like contouring is like such an important step because it just adds so much dimension to your face. Like, if you were to just leave your foundation and concealer, you would look so pale and like flat, and not like flat chested, just flat. And I always go back with a beauty blender, just blend it, make sure everything looks good. It'll be so much easier once I have my tripod and not 4 boxes to hold up my camera, so my mirror can be closer instead of over here, but we're making it work, right? And your nose is kind of something that you have to learn to contour on your own because everybody has a different nose shape. For me, it's just about making it look a little bit thinner because I kind of have wider nostrils, you know, but some people are trying to make it look longer. Everybody has a different look that they're looking for, so it's kind of trial and error when it comes to nose contour, so don't get discouraged if, you know, the first few times it doesn't look right. Next, I'm going to set everything with the Anastasia setting powder. This has like been my go-to for a while now. I feel like there's no flashback. It just looks really good. And I don't like to add too much powder because I feel like I have dry skin. So if that's something you struggle with, try putting less powder all over your face, and I think you'll notice a big difference. You won't look so cakey. And then I just do a little like under my contour, like almost that you can't see it, but just to sharpen it up. And a little on my forehead just to stop those wrinkles. And I do still let it bake. That's another trick if you have dry skin, to not leave it on so long. But for me, I don't really notice too much dryness if I leave it on. So I was kind of struggling deciding what palette I wanted to use for this look. I know I want it to be glam, you know, we're all going to want to look fantastic when we go out again. And I feel like this is a pretty common palette. I mean, they make these colors in every palette, so I'm just going to use the Soft Glam on my eyes today, and I'll zoom you in. I need my eyebrows done so bad. This looks so funny. And I'm looking up because my little viewfinder is up a little. So, and plus I'm like trying to crouch down so you can see my eyeballs. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with a small blender, and actually I wouldn't call this small. This is like a decent sized blender. This is from the Jeffree Star and Morphe, the JS5. Sorry, I can like barely see it. And I'm gonna start with the color Orange Soda, just as our transition color. Putting this right into the crease as our base. When you're using dark colors, you want to make sure you have a light enough base just to see what you're doing and like making sure everything's gonna blend together. And I don't use too much of it. I don't want it to be too dark. So now on a Morphe M573, about this size. Oh god. I'm just going to use the color Rustic right here. We're going to start that on the outer corner. Just bringing it up to where you're going to want it to go. And again, it all kind of depends on your eye shape, so when following tutorials, don't feel like you have to follow it exactly, because there's going to be trial and error. Things aren't going to look right on you that might look right on someone else. You know, for people with smaller eyelids or hooded eyelids, it's harder to recreate those looks, so you kind of just need to find your own groove. But anyway, I'm just putting this, and I want to drag it out just slightly. Like that. And now that we have like our outer shape, we're gonna blend inward. Don't worry about getting color on the lid. We will take care of that later, and we're also going to deepen this up way more. My hairs are making this look crazy. And you can always go back and blend more and fix anything you feel like doesn't look right, so don't feel discouraged. Everything comes together at the end. Just really, I feel like when doing makeup, especially eye makeup, and you just really want to take your time. Okay, so now on a small detail brush, this is, doesn't tell me, but it's from Morphe and it's a pencil brush. These are easy to find. I'm going to take the darker color right here. You can see I use this palette a lot. Just a little on my brush, and we're going to kind of mark out our outer V. I like to kind of like make a wing and then bring it in. This is the easiest way to learn your own eye shape. Just bringing that in, and I bring it about halfway, so I don't know if you can see. If you have small eyelids like mine, you kind of want to bring it up a little, as high as you can, not too much, where you're ruining the layers that we've created. Again, I'm just going to brush this out for that smoky liner look. Okay, so now with a flat brush, I'm just gonna spray it a little with any setting spray you have, doesn't really matter. I'm using the Stay Spray by Tarte. And I always use this for my glittery shadows. I'm going to use the shade Fairy on the inner half of my eye. And getting the shade wet is just going to make it more opaque. Okay, so now that I applied the lid color, I'm just gonna clean up where it's messy. I'm gonna use that first brush that I used and into the color Rustic. I just feel like my boyfriend's listening to me. Okay, just gonna go over that a little, just to kind of merge these two colors together, the darker. Okay, now I'm just going to use a flat shader brush to highlight, and I'm going to use the color Tempera. Under the brow bone. This brush might be a little too big. And the gold sparkles that is already kind of there is just going to help the color be a little brighter. Okay, now I'm going to fill in my brows using the Goof Proof pencil, and this is in the shade 3. I love this one because it's just a little bit thicker than most eyebrow pencils, which makes it easier to fill in your eyebrows faster. And I just go underneath first to build the shape that I want. Which my brows need a lot of shaping. And then on the top, I don't start right in the front. That's how you get the blocky brows. I'm just gonna start halfway. Kind of creating an arch here. And then just filling in any sparse areas. And then in the front of the brow, I'm just going to do upward motions, just kind of flicking, and this will give you the hair-like strokes. And then with the other end, I'm just going to brush them out a little. I posted a poll. I am not crazy about the feather brows. I feel like a lot of people do their eyebrows first, but for me, I feel like I'd get foundation all over them, so I always do them after I do my eye makeup. Now with a small fluffy brush, I'm just going to brush away all the baking that we did. I honestly ate some lunch, so it kind of sat on there for a while, but it'll just make this area brighter the longer you bake. Oh my god, I didn't even finish my eyes. Now that I'm done wiping away the baking powder, I'm just going to do underneath the eyes, and I'm kind of going to recreate what we did on the top, starting with the lightest color on a little tiny pencil brush. Starting with the medium color, the color Rustic, just going to bring this all the way down to the tear duct. Flinging it out a little. And then with the darker color, the Cypress Umber, I'm just going to put that on the outer quarter of the eye. And again, connecting it, kind of winging it out slightly. Then going back again with the first brush we used in the color Orange Soda, just go underneath and blend that out a little so it's not too sharp. So now I'm just going to put on lashes. I'm going to use the Lilly lashes in the style Miami. I haven't worn lashes in so long I forget how to freaking take them out of the packaging. I just hold them up to my eye first to measure how much to cut off. And when I take them out of the packaging, I always take it from the end that I'm going to cut from, just so that way if you ruin a little bit, it doesn't matter. So while we wait for the glue to get tacky, I'm just going to line my eyes with the 24/7 waterline in the color Legend. Maybe I should sharpen it. I always start with my tight line, because sometimes I don't line the bottom half, but this is good if you wear eyelashes. It just is going to make it more seamless.
Good, recommend.
Yeah. Oh my god, they look so good.
You what?
Just real big lashes. You're not in the video naked.
I said you wanted views.
Maybe in the next video. When I make you be in it. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Love you. Okay, so while he was in here, I just put on my lashes. And I'm just going to also do half of my waterline. And instead of pulling your eye down, you just want to lightly push, and it will expose the waterline. What a transformation already, and I'm not done. Or put my hair up and then do this. There we go. And I'm just gonna add some mascara to the bottom. I don't put mascara on these eyelashes, like maybe the Ardell ones, like wispies and stuff, but these are so expensive that I like to make them last as long as they possibly can. So not putting mascara on them is gonna help the longevity of the lash. Okay, so now I'm going to contour, and I'm just going to use this little brush. I honestly bought these from Amazon. They're the You Spicy. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer. I love this, and it smells so good. It really just feels so good to have makeup on. Like, I honestly, even when I was still working, don't think I put on a full glam in forever. Probably since maybe Valentine's Day. For blush, I just bought this Jouer palette. I honestly haven't tried anything from them, but these colors are so pretty. You can see the boxes. I'm gonna use the darker sparkly one. Oh wow, this is really pretty. And I like that it's not super pigmented, so it's easy to build up, but you're not just gonna put a ton of blush on right away. And neither of these are matte, they are both shimmery, and this is the Rose Gold, Marigold and Rose Petal. So I'm using the Marigold color. really wish the lighting would stop doing that. Probably because the window's open behind me. Okay, next I'm just going to set my face, again with the Tarte spray. And I'm going to use the Anastasia Amrezy Highlighter in a highlighter brush. This is so pretty. When I film my next video, I'll probably close that window behind me. I thought it would help bring in some light, but I feel like it's affecting the other light. And I just like to put highlighter above my eyebrows, kind of to elongate my face. I keep checking myself. I haven't worn makeup in so long. Next I'm going to use the KKW lip liner, and this is in 1.5 nude. I'm just making the line a little bit thicker. I feel like it helps make your lips look more full. And lastly, for lip gloss, I'm just going to use the Marc Jacobs lip gloss in the color Skin Deep. These are literally the best lip glosses. Like, I know they can be expensive, but it's so worth it, like every penny. It is just like the perfect nude. Alright, so this is the finished look. I really liked creating this. It's just nice to put on makeup while you're in quarantine sometimes. Honestly, like I said probably 30 times, I haven't put on makeup in forever, so I feel so good right now. And even though I'm probably not going to go out right when everything opens, the first time I do go out, I definitely will do this look. So if you liked, make sure to like the video and subscribe.